This is our annual selection for our Youth of the Year, and it's actually my favorite event that we do every year because we get to hear from our youth about the positive impact that the club and the staff have made in their lives.
The 8th Youth of the Year that you will hear from tonight have been members of the clubs for over 2 years. They volunteer and participate in civic engagement opportunities. Their unit directors nominated them, then prepared and submitted their Youth of the Year packet.
It was a year ago that I myself was on the stage. I had felt nervous, yet excited. However, I knew that no matter the outcome, all my hard work was worth it to be representing my club as a leader. Since Youth of the Year, I have had the opportunity to go to the National Keystone Conference in Atlanta, Georgia during this past summer. The following week, I had attended Camp Esteem with members of my club and some from Fresno as well, where I had become a counselor in training.
I lived with this dark, seemingly endless cycle of anger, sadness, frustration, and desperation. Because of this, I found myself basically selling parts of who I am in exchange for a lesser piece of what I could be. I began pretending to be happy for the people who I thought mattered, and trying my very hardest to accommodate to their needs and not my own. However, this slowly began to change, and the Oakhurst Boys and Girls Club was a big contributor to that shift. I became a member of the Boys and Girls Club 7 years ago, and during those years, I have grown. My brand is compassion. My time as a club member has taught me to help others, be part of change, and reshape my community so that children can grow up in a happy, safe environment that encourages acceptance from others and themselves.
As a freshman in high school, life was boring. There was nothing to do. It was the same routine over and over. Go to school, come back home from school, do homework, and repeat the cycle all over again. Luckily, that didn't last very long. I met a new friend. This friend one day decided to ask me if I would go with her to a place known as the club. I really wanted to say no, but I smiled and said, okay. I felt like I didn't belong there, and I didn't want to stay, but I'm really glad I did. Ever since, I've become an active member for the Mendota Boys and Girls Club, participating in programs like Keystone, where I was able to plan multiple events such as a glow-in-the-dark dance for teens, multiple teen nights, and even fundraise. I've even had the opportunity to attend my local city hall meetings and voice in my opinion.
When I first started coming to the club, I came with no skills. But now through my 9 years of attending, I have gained various skills, such as leadership and communication skills from Keystone. The club is the reason I got my first job this past summer as an intern at the Clovis Library. When my Keystone Club visited the Poverello House to feed the homeless, it was an eye-opening experience because I have never witnessed generosity and gratitude like that. I plan on doing this for years to come. Generosity brings people together, and the world needs a little unity right now.
Growing up with a father who was a heavy drinker and an avid drug user was not easy. Not to mention a mother who was never there for us when we needed her. Both of my parents used crack. I would frequently find their pipes laying around the house. It made me so angry that I would throw them out, breaking them in the street. I started missing school and began smoking weed. Sometimes I stay out until 2 o'clock in the morning. Growing up, I didn't have much. I never really had new shoes or clothes. My friends would always give me what didn't fit them. I was embarrassed. There were times where I needed money or clothes, and the staff at the club would always figure out a way to help me out. Thoughts of suicide feel like the only solution. I honestly know how that feels. Suicide is a very real thing, and I would like to bring that to attention. I once told myself that there was no point in committing suicide. It would only make things worse. The pain I felt would be passed on to someone else, and that wouldn't be fair.
Once, there was this little girl who was told to play an inappropriate and unnatural game by her older brother. Only, she was really being molested. her brother had brainwashed her into believing things that weren't true. She suffered from physical, sexual, drug, and worst of all, mental abuse. The first person I ever opened up to was the club staff. He encouraged me to go further and to not give up. So I began to open up. I told my story, and once I seen how many lives I touched and how many people I inspired, I didn't want to stop there. The club has taught me how to be considerate, patient, confident, and to believe in myself.
I was born a premature baby. I am told by my family that I am a strong and inspirational individual because I fought for my life. The club has given me a reason to keep going. Walking in every day with the staff and other members greeting me, I feel welcome and like there is a purpose for me. When younger members ask me what my goals are in life, I feel like somehow they're interested and that somehow I motivate them to follow their goals. At this age, I never imagined becoming a role model. This inspires me. The club makes me feel like that I am in a place where I belong.
Living and going to school in a mainly white town was hard. I was only 10, going on 11, and I hated my skin. I hated myself. I never told my parents. My dad was an alcoholic at the time, and mom was too busy worrying about putting food on the table. Sometimes I'd cry in the bathroom during lunch because I had no one there for me. This omnivorous state of mind rolled into my middle school years, where I let myself be used and mistreated, all because I wanted friends. When I started my freshman year in high school, my brother pulled me back into the club. He explained the cool programs and trips the Boys and Girls Club had to offer, and I thought about all the fun possibilities I can experience. Being alone all the time sucked. So I joined and got into a program called Keystone. Right then and there, I flourished. I began helping out during activities, giving out lunch, and helping with arts and crafts. I did programs like Career Launch, where I got my first job at the Western Sierra Nursery, opened a bank account, and did my first interview.
I have learned hard work by watching my parents earn everything they have. That same concept applies to me, but with school. I have had to pay attention and study hard to earn good grades, attend school regularly, which I am proud to say I have never missed a day of school. I am not familiar with the whole process of preparing for college, so I had to rely on the school and Boys and Girls Club for assistance. Programs such as Diplomas to Degrees hold me accountable to checking in bi-weekly to discuss any challenges or setbacks. Staff monitor my grades and encourage us to apply for scholarships and financial aid. My leadership skills have improved with my involvement with Keystone. It has opened my mind to share my ideas on projects and be part of a group that makes a difference at the club and community. I have volunteered well over 200 hours of my time at the club with events such as Kids Day, National Night Out, and Breakfast with Santa. Being part of Keystone Council has also boosted my self-confidence.
Our 8 outstanding Youth of the Year candidates have worked really hard to prepare for this event. They have refined their speeches, they've struggled and wondered could they even do it, and they have just been incredible.
To echo what Catherine said earlier, it is about making investments, and it's not simply in the building or the furnishings, it's about making investments in the people in our community. And there are heroes here today, our law enforcement, our first responders, our military, those are heroes. We know that, we honor them. But the unspoken heroes that show up here every day, the 95 staff members that come here every day deserve our thanks. So let's give them a round of applause. Because they're saving lives too. Think about the leadership that's standing here behind me. Think about the impact that these young people are going to have in the world of tomorrow. We're so thankful for them, and we're so blessed as a company to continue making an investment in this program.
Our third place winner is Victoria Valdez. Our second place winner is Jacqueline Monroy. The first place winner Our 2019 Youth of the Year for Fresno County is Erica Smith.
I would like to thank my amazing team over there at table 17. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. For pushing me every day to be a better person. I really appreciate this. Thank you guys. Thank you.